Interstate I-94, one of the most used freeways in the Twin Cities. Around 2,400 people drive on this freeway an hour from Minneapolis to St. Paul. To some, it's a daily commute. A lot of people that travel on I-94 don't really know about the history of the freeway or simply don't care as long as the road is clear and no traffic in sight. But did you know about the neighborhood that was torn down that held 85% of St. Paul's African American population? This neighborhood was known as Rondo Avenue. Before we get started, let's go back before the freeway and all the conflicts with it. Rondo Ave, home to 85% of African Americans that lived in St. Paul at the time. But it was also home to other minority groups such as Jews, Italians, Native Americans, and even whites. There was many family-owned businesses, restaurants, grocery stores, a school, a church, and even a police station. Many residents said that it was a safe area to live. You can even keep your door unlocked during the day without people coming in. Residents also say that everyone knew each other on their block. Rondo Ave and other blocks around Rondo was very diverse compared to other areas. Most people that lived there was either middle class or lower class. Most residents were middle class. June 29th, 1956, the U.S. Congress passed the Federal Aid Highway Act, which allowed I-94 to start construction from Montana to Michigan. One route that needed to be added to the I-94 route needed to go from Minneapolis to St. Paul, and Rondo was right in the way of the construction plan. There was a route that could have avoided Rondo altogether, which was the Pierce Butler route, just north of Rondo, which would have been a lot better route, but the route through Rondo was the fastest. Even though the route through Rondo was the fastest route, the city of St. Paul wanted to get rid of the slums in the area of Rondo. In Rondo, a lot of people didn't even know about the I-94 being built. A rumor started when Maxfield School was in need of repair, and someone said, we should just relocate. There's no point repairing the school because it was going to be torn down anyways because of the freeway. After this was said, it spread like wildfire. As time came closer to start construction, many people protested to stop the construction of the freeway. But since it was the 50s, it didn't really work out so well because it was before the civil rights movement and blacks weren't treated as equals. But the community did reach for compromises with the city. Number one was that people could stay in their houses as long as possible. Two, the families could have a fair market trades. Three, the freeway could be lowered so it was under street level. And four, which didn't get passed, was the open house law, which could allow families buy any house anywhere as long as they can afford it. But again, since this was before the widely known civil rights movement, this was immediately denied. So a lot of people were left homeless. While construction started, construction workers used force or scare tactics to force people out of their homes. For example, construction workers would hang a wrecking ball over people's houses and drop them on the houses until they gave away. Many people watched this happen and decided to leave. Like I said earlier, I-94 left a lot of people in greater debt because they lost everything, and many were left homeless. Many businesses closed down because they were in the way of the freeway. But some business owners tried to reopen their shops, but most to all failed because they were not getting enough business. Today, many people travel on this road that have once been a thriving African American community to now just an interstate freeway that people just drive on to go to work. Today, to this day, many people are still upset because of the freeway, because it took so many homes from so many people. In recent articles from NPR stated that the city of St. Paul might build a bridge/tunnel where Rondo once was and making it a community center or a park and a memorial.